Hillary Clinton will go to great lengths to silence anyone who gets a little too cozy with her secrets. Cross this woman and you're likely to be the latest victim of suicide, and another addition to the massive trail of bodies that keeps accumulating around her. But as the disgraced presidential candidate is facing investigation with her Uranium One scandal, her dirty dealings are coming under closer scrutiny. Now the timing of several deaths over 2017 are becoming extremely suspicious given her track record for conveniently making people disappear who are threatening to implicate her in another scandal. Now an extremely disturbing list has just been produced of all the mysterious deaths that Hillary has been tied to just since last year, as the total death toll swells to over 60. 1. Steve Mostyn. Several months ago, ex-DNC Chair Donna Brazile revealed how Hillary rigged the Democratic primaries against Bernie Sanders. Brazile also believed that Hillary was behind the death of murdered DNC staffer Seth Rich, going on to say that she feared for her life and worried that she herself would be the next victim. Brazile even took additional measures to protect herself by installing a security system in her home and would pull the blinds to thwart off snipers. Immediately after Brazile's stunning revelation, another Democratic megadonor and Houston attorney Steve Mostyn has just been found dead, where predictably, the man's death is being ruled a suicide. Mostyn had once been close to Clinton, but their relationship came under severe stress back in 2015 when an ethics watchdog group Foundation for Accountability and Civic Trust, FACT, filed a formal complaint against Clinton and her campaign for illegal coordination with the Ready for Hillary super PAC, Mixed Politics reported. The timing of his death is disturbing given the fact that Clinton has once again found herself at the center of scrutiny for alleged dirty dealings during her time as Secretary of State with the Uranium One deal, in which she and her foundation were paid off to approve a deal effectively turning over 20% of our uranium deposits to the Kremlin. 2. Joseph Mifsud. Several weeks ago, a well-known professor mysteriously vanished without a trace from Rome, where no one has been able to locate him. Joseph Mifsud was at the heart of Hillary's dirt claim, went missing without a trace, leaving a trail of questions. Mifsud disappeared several months ago and hasn't showed up for work where he teaches at the University of Rome. According to one of Mifsud's colleagues, he had recently declared that he had compromising material on Hillary that would serve as the missing link between Hillary and the dirt the Russians had on her. CNN reported Joseph Mifsud, the Maltese academic suspected of being a link between the Trump campaign and Russian officials, was once a regular on the foreign policy circuit, attending conferences the world over. Now, after being identified as a key figure in the U.S. Special Counsel investigation into Russian influence over the 2016 U.S. presidential election, Mifsud has gone to ground. 3. Journalist Daphne Caruana Galizia. Investigative journalist Daphne Caruana Galizia was behind the massive leak of 11.5 million documents called the Panama Papers that revealed how a Panama law firm helped some of the richest people from all around the world establish offshore tax havens on the Central American country. This illegal scheme allowed crooked politicians, including Hillary Clinton, to stash massive amounts of cash in Panama to avoid paying taxes. But Galizia would never have the chance to testify about Hillary or what was in those documents. The investigative journalist was blown to smithereens after a rigged car bomb detonated just moments after she pulled out of her driveway. Immediately after news broke of Galizia's horrifying killing, alarm bells around the world immediately went off, with political pundits immediately labeling Galizia's death a political murder. Shocking doesn't begin to describe this, journalist Mark McClellan wrote, where it's believed that Galizia was blown up by a bomb that was being remotely controlled and detonated by an IED. In the weeks leading up to her murder, Galizia had told authorities that she was being constantly harassed and threatened with her life. ABC News reported, Caruana Galizia had been sued for libel because of various articles she wrote on her blog Running Commentary, and she had filed a report with the police 2 weeks ago that she was receiving threats. Monday evening's Parliament session was scrapped, except for briefings about the bombing scheduled to be given by Mr. Muscat and opposition leader Mr. Delia. 4. State Department and Federal Agent Kurt Smolik. State Department and Federal Agent employee Kurt Smolik's decaying corpse was pulled from the Potomac River back in August. Smolik was hot on the trail, exposing Hillary's ties to Pizzagate, as well as her ties to a human child trafficking ring in Cambodia. Cambodia is a country that is infamous for their human trafficking, child sex trafficking, and child sex tourism. The location where Smolik was stationed was a hot spot of this type of illegal activity, and it's possible that he had been privy to some damning information on Hillary Clinton. Yet another state employee is found mysteriously dead, his body pulled from the Potomac after being reported missing, one investigator stated. This is related to Pizzagate as possible ties to the child trafficking and the criminals behind the numerous email and fraud-related mysterious deaths. There are clear links to overseas child trafficking hotspots, recent mysterious deaths related to the DNC/Clinton/email scandals, links to Clinton's State Department. 5. Lord Jacob Rothschild, in what's being reported as a freak, unfortunate private plane and helicopter accident, where the two aircrafts collided mid-air, leaving 4 dead, is far more mysterious than is being said, based on who was on board and is now dead, Amanda Shea from mPolitical previously reported. What makes this collision strange, outside of how it happened, is that it took place right outside the Rothschild estate and only 3 of the 4 victims have been named. It's being speculated that Lord Jacob Rothschild is among the casualties, and if true, this could be really bad for Hillary. So far, the only victims to be identified, perhaps on purpose, is the pilot of the helicopter, Captain Mike Green, and a student and flight instructor aboard the Cessna, 18-year-old Savin Mundy, who was being instructed by Jaspal Barha, according to The Sun. So, was Jacob Rothschild, with a very big connection to the Clintons, the 4th victim? Several sources seem to suggest that's the case, but the Rothschild estate has not confirmed nor denied Jacob's well-being. 6. Sean Lucas. Sean Lucas joined Hillary's long unfortunate list of deaths. He was the attorney who served the DNC with a lawsuit last year that proved that Debbie Wasserman Schultz worked with Hillary to rig the primary election against Bernie Sanders. The complaint was served right before Wasserman Schultz resigned amid the WikiLeaks email scandal on July 24. Less than 1 month after Lucas served the DNC amid the WikiLeaks email scandal on July 24, Lucas would be found dead in his bathroom, where the cause of death is still pending according to the medical examiner's office. 7. Seth Rich. Last July, DNC staffer Seth Rich savagely murdered right after feeding WikiLeaks with some very disturbing dirt on Hillary. Several weeks later, WikiLeaks would release thousands of emails related to Hillary, but Rich at that point was already dead. After leaving his Northwest D.C. neighborhood early Sunday morning on July 10, Rich was savagely shot multiple times before the shooter fled the scene, leaving 0 evidence for authorities to solve the murder. 8. Barrington J. Whisenant Jr. After Lucas' untimely death, another attorney would wind up dead. Barrington J. Whisenant Jr. it's believed to have taken over the case against the DNC and Hillary, and had been working in recent months on exposing Wasserman Schultz's fraud and visa case in Florida. But just like Sean Lucas and Seth Rich, who died under mysterious circumstances after getting too close to Hillary and the DNC's dirty secrets, Whisenant's life came to an abrupt end, as his body would be found washed up on a beach in Hollywood, Florida, and investigators have absolutely no explanation for how he wound up dead from trauma to...
Authorities say there is no doubt the now deceased shooter was targeting police. According to investigators, 51-year-old Ahmed Amin El Mafti opened fire at 3 locations in Harrisburg yesterday afternoon. They say he had ties to the Middle East and recently returned from there. A woman who says she is his estranged wife told a local reporter for the website Penn Live she thought El Mafti was living overseas. The local district attorney says the shooting spree, which left 1 state trooper wounded, could have been much worse.
This could have been a really tragic incident with this individual firing many shots at police cars in downtown Harrisburg in the midst of rush hour traffic on a Friday afternoon, and then coming up here in a residential neighborhood and firing again many shots.
The first shooting took place a little after 4 in the afternoon near the Pennsylvania state capitol. El Mafti fired several shots at a police car and almost hit an officer. Minutes later, authorities say he opened fire and wounded a state trooper who is expected to make a full recovery. El Mafti then chased that wounded trooper to a 3rd location where he was shot and killed in a shootout with Harrisburg police. The FBI is now asking anyone with information on El Mafti to contact them at this number, 215-418-4000, or at tips.fbi.gov. While possible terrorist links are under investigation, the local DA says, in his words, "We don't want people to run wild with speculation." Authorities would not comment on whether or not Al Mufti had been under investigation.